Good Wednesday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. If there's anything that you hear today, make sure you leave home a little early and you keep your headlights on. We have serious fog throughout the area. It's one of those days you're not going to be able to see the hand in front of you hardly in places. So plan ahead, leave early, watch for school buses. It is thick. The further south you go, the worse it gets. We'll show you a map here in just a moment, just how bad it is. A lot going on today. We'll tell you about probably one of the worst wrecks that have ever happened in the Meridian area. Boy, was the interstate blocked or what yesterday? I think it was the most cars we've ever had involved in one consistent pileup, 31 altogether. We'll tell you about that this morning with Scotty Ray and Debbie. It kicks off at 7 a.m. I hope you'll join us for that. Right now, let's go out to Collinsville. Let's get a good word on that. Are you hungry? We occasionally are. Brother Ben's going to tell you how you can get plenty. Here's Brother Ben.
One of Jesus' greatest miracles was when he took 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread and fed over 5,000 people. I say over 5,000 because Matthew 14 says that those who ate of Jesus' miracle were about 5,000 men besides women and children. So there were 5,000 men plus women and children. So in reality, we could be talking at least double 5,000 in actuality. How did Jesus do it? Well, by the power of God Almighty. He spoke a blessing over those 2 fish and 5 loaves and began to distribute it to the disciples to go serve the people. And it didn't run out until everyone ate until they were full. Jesus even had leftovers because they picked up 12 basket loads of pieces of bread. Why did Jesus do it? Well, it was one of his ways to prove that he was God in the flesh. God has the power to multiply and loves to provide for those who are spiritually and physically hungry. Are you hungry? Come to Jesus. He's the bread of life, and you'll be satisfied. If he could do what he did with 5 loaves and 2 fish, just imagine what he could do in your life. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And again, great to hear from Brother Ben this morning. You can drop by tonight. They've got a service. Also, they'll have another coming up Sunday morning and Sunday evening. Great place to drop by if you don't have a church there. As we mentioned, fog everywhere today. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. And I'm seeing a lot of comments about deer moving this morning. They're moving. It's foggy. That's a disaster, isn't it? Yeah. Let's go to Meridian Honda radar as we look at this. As you'll notice, the Meridian area here, we've got fog over most of it. We're under a dense fog advisory as we see that fog advisory through roughly 10 o'clock this morning. The further south that you go, right outside equipment, it'll get even thicker on into the city of Waynesboro and those areas there. Over at Toxie, Gilbertown, Alabama, look at y'all. It's thick, thick, thick all the way down through here. As we move northward from the Meridian area, we go up into Kemper County, the northwest corner. It gets thicker, and by the time you get to Sugarlock, pretty doggone thick. By Starkville, Columbus Air Force Base, those areas there, even thicker. So we've got a lot throughout the area, if you look at that. No rain at this point, but there's a lot of fog in the state of Mississippi. That's a quick look at what we've got. Now, we're going to tell you in just a moment about the chance of severe weather, of what it holds for the area and what to expect today. Our chance is going to be late tonight. And the great news is our immediate area, they've downgraded us to a level 1. That's fantastic. We're going to get into the forecast now. We're going to show you the maps and let you understand who, what, when, and how. It doesn't mean that we're in the clear. It just means we're in a better position for weather. Does that make sense? I think so. But let's look at the weather forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go back and look at our record highs, record lows, it was 1974. We had a high of 77 today. A warm day it was. 48, a cool day, 10 degrees is what we had. For the outlook for today, it looks to be cloudy for the most part, 75 through here to Philadelphia. A little cooler in Columbus, 72. To our south, Hattiesburg should see 77. Even over west to Natchez, 77. As we go east into Bamaland, 75 at Demopolis. Somewhere around 74 there at Livingston and 73 in Tuscaloosa. As we look at what is coming up, this is the fog. This is what's rated for today, elevated threat. Means in areas you could see a quarter mile. And it's really showing up here south of Quitman right in there. Y'all be careful throughout all these areas, though. Fog is out this morning. Now, as we look at today, this is what our time frame is. 9 p.m. until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning is the threat for severe weather. Now, the good news is, as you see this map, is showing that most of the level 2 stuff is to the west. Let's go back and pull up regular radar here so you can take a quick peek of what we've got. This is how it lays out for the state, from Natchez to a Vicksburg line through Kosciuszko up to Corinth. All points west of there back to Arkansas to Louisiana is under a level 2. As you get to Jackson, Mississippi, and all areas east of there is a level 1. Now, that is good. That doesn't mean we won't get some rain and thunderstorms, but the threat is not there. And you still cannot rule out a possible tornado, but the chances are higher in this area than it is over here. So we can't rule it out all the way, but it is a great thing to know that it's getting better for us. So we don't have that big risk like we have in the past. So that's the promising out of that, what we get. We will have some strong winds that come out of this throughout the area. Always remember, if you've got lawn furniture, garbage cans anywhere, it can get blown around. If you've got a trampoline, that state bird, watch it. Strong winds will affect it. As we look ahead to Alabama, they're expecting this from 11 p.m. until 4 a.m. A little bit later than us. As we look at this, starting to see some cool weather making its way toward Texas. Ooh, we welcome it. It's been kind of hot for this time of year. 75 today. That's why we're getting those thunderstorms, isn't it? After this passes, we'll get into mid-50s all the way through next Tuesday, about 59 for the high, mid-40s to upper 40s at nighttime, and we look all the way through February 1st. Look at that. 50s, one day of 63. Nothing that says old man winter or either way. It's just kind of in the middle, isn't it? Nothing to get scared about. So that's what we've got so far. We'll see what the rest of February has to offer as it gets a little bit closer there. What's the fishing calendar for today? Around, let's see. Your major time will be right before 9 o'clock this morning. Let's call it 9 till 11 is a great time to go fishing. Perfect time for that. It'll be after dark your second time. You can have a minor time after lunchtime, but if you want to hit the water today, 9 till 11 is the greatest time to be there. The wind, whether you're deer hunting or fishing, is going to be south wind 5 to 10, increasing to 20 with gusts of up to 30 miles an hour by the late afternoon. So that morning fishing may be the perfect time for that, brought to you by Chet's. As we look at our hunting calendar, we look at our friends here from Collinsville Meats. What do we got showing up today? First major time will be 10 o'clock this morning till noon. 10 to noon. Not a bad time there. Again, that south wind's going to increase toward the afternoon, so your best time is going to be at 10 to lunch today. You can go this afternoon, but the odds aren't in your favor as well. That's a quick look at that. We've had some shootings. No one's been shot. We'll tell you who, what, and what did get shot coming up here in about 20 minutes from now. We'll go over all the activities, the wrecks and things that occurred in our area yesterday. That's all coming up at 7 a.m. Won't you join us? Come back. We'll tell you how to start your day. Debbie's getting ready. She'll be here in just a moment as we start your day with Scotty Ray and Debbie right here. Thank you so much for being a part of this. We'll be right back really quick. Y'all take care. We'll see you soon.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: